ఎస్ సార్ స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుంది.
స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుందా?
వస్తుంది సార్, స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుంది. స్క్రీన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో విజిబుల్ సార్.
ఓకేనా?
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay. Good evening, friends. All my dear student friends. After a gap of 1 week or 10 days, we are back again. Today's session, the masterclass is on influencing others, leveraging authority, and navigating hierarchies, mastering the art of persuasion. I'm also extremely happy to have other friends on YouTube Live. I welcome all of you for this session, and it's a master class for MBA students. Let's examine the power of influence. Is that it's a cornerstone for professional success story for any executive in any organization. So what may happen here is a persuasion. No, if you have an authority, you can exercise influence because you're being branded as a leader, designated with official authority and all. So, what we now discuss is the power of influence, even if you do not have any authority, official authority designated by an organization. So, then we talk about influence. Influence is the ability to affect the thoughts, feelings, or behaviors of others. Because when people are working with you, and you need to affect the thoughts and feelings and behaviors of other people for achieving organization objectives. So it's about persuading, convincing, and inspiring people to take action or adopt a particular viewpoint. In most of the professional settings in organizations, influence is a critical skill that can help you to achieve your goals, build strong relationships, and advance your career. So let's distinguish between authority versus influence. As I've just now mentioning, while authority is the formal power or a position held by an individual, influence is the ability to persuade and motivate others regardless of your formal position. While authority can be a powerful tool, it's often not enough to achieve long term success. Just because you're having a position, a leadership position formally declared and named, it does not mean that in the long run you may be in a position to influence people. Effective leaders and professionals understand that influence is more sustainable and impactful form of power. So, what is the impact of effective influence? Effective influence can have a profound impact on both individual careers and organizational success. Let's examine some of the key benefits. First one is about career advancements. You have increased visibility if you have the ability to influence people. Influential individuals are more likely to be recognized for their contributions and potential. And you have enhanced reputation as well. Building a reputation as a trusted advisor and thought leader can open doors to new opportunities. And of course, if you have an influencing ability, you have improved negotiation skills as well. Effective influence can help you to navigate better deals and outcomes. About organizational successes, yes, a person who has the ability to influence people have improved teamwork and collaboration. Influential individuals can foster a positive and productive work environment normally, yes. And Increased innovation and creativity is another advantage. By inspiring and motivating others, influential leaders can drive innovation and creativity. And the third is enhanced problem solving. Influenced individuals can bring people together to find solutions to complex problems and thus organizational successes. And of course, stronger relationships with stakeholders can be made possible if you have an influencing ability. Effective influence can help build strong relationships with clients, customers, and other partners. But again, you need to understand your audience when you would like to attempt your influencing factor. Know your audience. First of all, identify key stakeholders and their motivations. You need to tailor your messages to resonate with different personality types and communication styles. All people may not be the same, mind it. Some people are said to be having a democratic value of consultative styles of functioning, but some people are they are said to be very autocratic and they may not be amenable for discussions. So you need to strive hard in the process of influencing different types of personality types. Then use empathy and active listening to understand their perspective so that you can clearly understand your audience and then start doing something. The second one is building rapport. Find common ground and shared interests so that the people can join you for any discussion. You need to show genuine interest in others. Then only people will be coming to you for an advice. Use positive body language in effective communication. Needless to say that you need to have a very sophisticated body language and very effective communication styles and gestures, very positive gestures, welcome gestures to attract people. And of course, you need to build credibility. First important thing is to establish expertise. Demonstrate knowledge and skills in your field. You need to prove your expertise in your field and then share relevant experiences and accomplishments and seek opportunities to showcase your expertise through presentations, publications, mentorships, discussions. All these things uh, establish your expertise. Then the second one is you need to build trust among people. Be reliable and consistent in your actions. If you're reliable and consistent in your behavior and actions, people trust you, mind it. And you need to communicate very honestly without any filters. You need to communicate very openly. And of course, you need to keep your commitments. Whenever you give a word, you stick to that. That is very, very essential. And let's look at the art of persuasion. Of course, we have already discussed this at length, but here context permits me to recap what we have discussed so far. The persuasive techniques are: one is reciprocity. Offer value before asking something in return. They must understand that you would be in a position to help them as well. For example, sharing valuable insights or offering assistance is a must. The second one is scarcity situation. Highlight limited opportunities or resources in a very scarce situation. For example, creating a sense of urgency and exclusivity so that people can listen to you. The third is use your authority. Yes, of course, sometimes, yes. Leverage your expertise and credibility with the authority you have. Example, citing research, statistics, and expert opinions as an evidence so that your comments or your opinions can be authoritatively stated. Provide certain social proof. Use peer influence and testimonials. For example, sharing positive feedback or case studies are of immense help here so that you are providing a certain social proof for success stories. The fifth one would be liking. Build a rapport and trust through positive interactions, minded. Very, very important. Finding common interests and showing genuine interest in others is a must. And of course, you should be consistent in all your words and actions. Align your words and actions to maintain credibility. For example, following through on commitments and being accountable is your first priority, minded. I have been talking to you earlier that how can you influence people? Should you have to have authority only, or can you navigate organization hierarchies? For example, you need to influence people uh, in upper hierarchies, like you want to make a presentation to your boss, your superiors, uh, and would like to talk to them uh, on an issue. How do you proceed? Can you no, influence your higher ups? Then how? Is there any set procedure, protocol to see that you can be influencing your higher ups? This is what navigating organizational hierarchy all about. Let's look at some cases here. One is upward influence. When you like to, trying to influence your bosses and superior officers, understand your boss's priorities and challenges first, and try to frame your requests in such a way that it aligns with their goals, and build a strong working relationship based on mutual respect. Let your boss know that you're also knowledgeable, having some expertise, and he ought to be trusted. And use data and evidence to support your proposals always. And talking in vacuum will not result anywhere. So try to use data, official data, and evidence to support your proposals before the boss. Practice active listening and effective communication because you're interacting with the bosses, your superiors. They may be talking to you on certain important issues, clarification, or whatever. You need to be good in active listening because your answers must be properly be matched with the questions they ask. So, is it possible without active listening? Absolutely no. So, practice active listening and effective communication before you make out any proposal. The second one would be lateral influence. Lateral influence is all about how do you work with your own peers, equal status individuals. Collaborate effectively with peers. Never ever enter into any quarrelsome atmosphere with the people of your equal status. So collaborative approach with peers is a must again if you would like to influence at the lateral level. That means influencing your peers or equal status individuals. And find ground, common ground, and focus on shared goals. All of you are working for organizational objectives. Yes or no? So find a common ground and focus on shared goals. The other should not think that you have a personal goal to achieve in the process. So no, it's all shared goals. So practice again here active listening and empathy. Your peers will be telling something about an issue being discussed here. You need to be empathic uh, with them because walk into their shoes in the process of listening to their explanations. So practice active listening and empathy is another important point that we need to mention particularly here. And again, resolve conflicts very constructively and seek win-win situations. After all, you and your peers are equal status individuals, all are working for organizational goals. So if there are any what you call disagreements or whatever miscommunications here and there is a need for you to resolve conflicts very constructively and allow others also to win. This is what we call win-win scenarios of conflict handling. And then use collaborative tools and technologies to facilitate teamwork. All should be working together minded. So you need to facilitate this kind of a teamwork and work out collaborative tools like as many number of joint meetings as possible. And these are the ways in which you need to work out better. So let there be some emails that are exchanged or joint meetings that can be conducted in the process of handling difference of points of view on. So this use of collaborative tools and technologies can enhance the teamwork, and that's how you can go in for lateral influence, working with your peers, influencing your peers. Downward influence. That means when you'd like to influence your team and your in the dyadic relationship, you have your own immediate subordinates. Again, I have already told you that please do not show your authority. No, the leadership is not through label, but through a cooperative approach, a coordinated effort influence your subordinates. So this downward influence, how you navigate this downward influence is inspire and motivate your team. Don't dictate. You need to inspire them. You need to motivate them. If you have the ability to solve number of problems and puzzles in the process of handling organizational goals, they get inspired and motivated by you. That's how you need to inspire and motivate your team in the process of influencing them. Set clear expectations and provide regular feedback. See, if you're not clear in your expectations from them, if you don't set clear expectations, everything get confused, and people are not ready to accept your orders, accept your recommendations or whatever. So set clear expectations, and again, provide regular feedback. So is the goal achieved or not? What is the expectation you have on them? Whether the work done or not according to your expectations. So this kind of a provision of regular feedback at regular intervals is a must here in the process of exercising downward influence. And empower your team members and delegate tasks effectively. See, without resources, things cannot get done. It's absolutely impossible. So empower your team members with sufficient resources concern and delegate tasks effectively. Delegation is the art. There's a science and art behind this delegation. Effective delegation means delegation of not simply responsibility but authority as well. Giving authority on a certain issue is to empower your team members, mind it. So empower your team members and delegate tasks very effectively in the process of downward influence. And people may go good, give you results, and if they give you results, quick results, try to recognize and reward achievements. That's how you need to go for motivating those individuals, recognizing their hard work, reward the achievements you have. Even small achievements can be rewarded. That's the way in which you can influence people, your subordinates. That's what downward influence may mean. And create a positive and supportive work environment. Let there not be any taboos and walls that are constructed, in the sense, imaginary walls that are constructed, restricting, people to get involved and all that. So this is a very negative environment, work environment, and no, not so open environment. So if you do not have this kind of open environment, then it becomes a problem area here in the process of influencing your own subordinates. So create a very positive and supportive work environment so that you can exercise downward influence. And I've already told you that you need to lead by example and demonstrate strong work ethic. You cannot lead by label. Leadership is not by name and designation, it's by demonstrating a strong work ethic minded, especially when you need to influence your subordinates downward. You have to accept the model like leading by example and demonstrating strong work ethic. That's a must here. So let's take, before we close here in the short session today, a real world example of influencing without authority. Because I have already told you that influence is not that is with authority. So you need to have an expertise of yours and excellence and clear understanding of the work to be done here, and somewhat better than the people in the setting. So if these things are there, then of course you have the ability to influence people across hierarchies. It does not matter it's a senior management or a junior management here. So let's examine a practical case to give you the guideline of how influence works. Here is the scenario: a mid level engineer persuading a senior management. Note here, the senior management is to be influenced, persuaded by a middle level engineer. See, think and walk into the shoes of mid level engineer trying to influence, trying to persuade senior management. Imagine a mid level software engineer working in a large tech company. They have identified a potential new technology that could significantly improve the company's product, reducing costs and increasing efficiency. Mind it. So, this is the proposal of the new technology. You need to present this to senior management and see that they are persuaded and they are influenced. Of course, here the problems come because I've already told you, cutting across hierarchies, navigating hierarchies in the process of influence becomes a tough task. So, in this case, again, I repeat, if the middle level engineer persuading senior management over a new software technology to be implemented. See here, however, senior management is hesitant to adopt the new technology due to perceived risks and uncertainties. The senior management executive is hesitant, he is not agreeable to adapt the new technology suggested by middle level engineer. Here comes the problem. How the middle level engineer can persuade senior management, especially the senior management executive is resisting the idea of middle level engineer, and he says that yes, that no, it cannot be accepted because of the perceived risks and uncertainties. This is the case. Let's see how to influence in this case. First important thing is you need to build credibility, because senior management will always look to your credibility, the credibility of the middle level executive. So how dare you, suggest this kind of a thing to me? I'm a better person than you. Suppose these are the filters that may work. So you need to demonstrate your expertise minded. The engineer drives deep into the technology, mastering its nonsenses and potential benefits. They become the go-to person for information on this subject. See, that's what it means. You need to demonstrate your expertise. If the senior management has some convincing evidence about your expertise, and when you suggest, they can recognize the potential benefits. So all these things happen only when you can demonstrate the expertise. The second one would be sharing knowledge. Oh, okay, you will be organizing workshops and presentations to educate their colleagues about the technology, showcasing its advantages, addressing potential concerns as such. So you need to have, when the workshops are organized, you make sure that you're presenting and educating the colleagues and frame the issue. Yeah, you need to highlight the problem. That means here the engineer emphasizes the current limitations of the existing technology. You can make a positive case for new technology, a new platform, or new program that you're going to plan, because you have to prove to the fact that there are certain limitations of the existing technology. Hence, there is a need for us to move to new technology, and the potential costs associated with them, with reference to keeping ourselves with the old technology, existing technology. So that's what it means. There's every reason for us to move from existing technology to new technology because of the potential cost and all that. This should be the problem highlighted here, and position the solution. Okay, debate is debate and all that, but ultimately everybody looks to a beautiful, workable, productive solution. Yes, the middle level executives who are, transacting for an agreement here, they frame the new technology as the solution to these problems. Yeah, absolutely. There's a solution to these problems, highlighting its potential to save costs, improve performance, and increase market competitiveness. See this? That means you have actually framed the issue, as a matter of fact. So one is highlighting the problem. Second one is position the solution. Earlier to that is you have to build credibility, demonstrate your expertise, share your knowledge with authentically, and then only you can frame the issue by highlighting the problem and positioning the solution. Next one would be leveraging on emotional intelligence. Here comes the problem of uh, you know hierarchical status issues and all that, and people's excitements over emotional arousals during the discussions, etc. So if you would like to leverage emotional intelligence, few points for us for consideration is empathy. Do you have empathetic attitude? The engineer, middle level engineer, understands the concerns of senior management and addresses them empathetically. Yeah, senior management may have their own choice decisions. They may have n number of concerns. Are you able to view those concerns empathetically? The answer should be yes. So they acknowledge the risks involved and offer solutions to mitigate them. So all those middle level executives, if they would like to converse with senior management, they should acknowledge the risks involved. Of course, new technology, new program will have their risks, but how you will be suggesting solutions to mitigate these risks, you must have to demonstrate empathetically. That means answering all their concerns from their perspective, meaning from the senior management perspective. And of course, you need to build up positive relationships. All the middle level executives who are trying to influence the senior management level should build strong relationships with key decision makers. Key decision makers are always senior management. So you need to build strong relationships with key decision makers, demonstrating respect and understanding. Of course, you are knowledgeable. You're so brilliant enough in designing new technologies and all that, and you have initiative to implement, but never ever discount or disrespect the senior management cadre. And you need to demonstrate respect and understanding their concerns as such. And then, of course, how do you use certain persuasive techniques influencing the senior management cadre, cutting across the hierarchies? First one is social proof. So the engineer cites successful implementations of the technology in other companies, bring out beautiful examples from other companies, competitors, highlighting the positive outcomes. This is called providing social proof. That's a clear evidence that senior management should necessarily go to implement these newer technologies. Second one would be scarcity. See, you need to emphasize the limited window of opportunities to adopt the technology and gain a competitive advantage. So, because you need to understand, because of the constraints of resources and all, okay, but then there are a lot of opportunities to adopt the new technology. You need to answer that. So, and gain a competitive advantage over competitors. So, you have to lead the argument that way. Then, of course, is reciprocity. Middle management executive offer to lead a pilot project to test the technology, demonstrating their commitment and willingness to take on additional responsibility. So just suggesting is fine, but then are you with some reciprocity, meaning that senior management wants a desired result? Are you able to take up a new task? I mean to say, your commitment and willingness to take additional responsibility of launching the project and monitoring it very closely. So that is what we call reciprocity. Senior management will always be in a hesitant, will always be hesitant because it's a new project. So what may happen? So you take up the responsibility, demonstrate your commitment and willingness to act on coming into the shoes of the senior management. That's what we call a reciprocity. So by these effectively combining these type of strategies, the middle level engineer can successfully influence senior management to adopt new technology, ultimately benefiting the company as a whole. See, it's very, very important here to examine how you need to navigate hierarchies. So this real world example demonstrates how influence rather than authority can be a powerful tool for driving positive change. See, this is a very important aspect here. See, authority may be one thing where you can use to influence people. We are not talking about power and authority here. We are talking about influencing, ability to influence people, navigating the what do you call hierarchies. You can be a junior individual and you can be in a position to influence higher ups when it is possible, when you have a commitment, shared goals, and all that. You have some expertise, and you can demonstrate your expertise. You are to be trusted. You are credible enough in the process. You should be showing the beautiful example of hard working executive. So these things will count a lot when we talk about this thing. So with this, we stop here, and I close the screen.